From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
The All Indiana Podcast Network.
This is the News 8 Daily 8.
Now the latest news.
Kylie Conway has all the news you need to know.
And more.
Please stand by.
Now, here's Wish TV's Kylie Conway.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is the News 8 Daily 8 for Tuesday, August 4th. The Indianapolis 500 becomes the latest sporting event to be held without fans. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway made the announcement this afternoon. It was a big reversal for Roger Penske to make the call, but yes, the 104th running of the Great American Race will be the first without spectators, who showed up at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway every year, even during the Great Depression. Penske initially said he would not run the 500 without fans, but as the pandemic continued to spread through the nation, the decision was made to limit capacity to 50%. The Speedway then lowered that number to 25% and now has decided on no fans at all. And restaurant owners on Main Street near the track are calling the decision disheartening. Most of them were still expecting a decent crowd to dine in, even with that 25% capacity watching the race. Although fans are saddened, some say they're not surprised after the cancellation of Carb Day and other festivities leading up to race day. August was supposed to be the month for businesses to really make a profit, though, and for people living in the area and visitors to really enjoy the city of Speedway. Governor Holcomb released a statement saying, "Throughout this unprecedented process, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has always prioritized the safety of the fans. I am grateful to Roger Penske's leadership and his entire team for thoughtfully approaching this decision with transparency and collaboration. I want to encourage Hoosiers to continue to social distance, wear masks, and take precautions so we can continue to slow the spread of COVID-19 and hear the roar of the engines at the track next May." Mayor Joe Hogsett added, "Roger Penske and the entire leadership team at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway have consistently made clear that their highest priority is the safety of Indy 500 fans. That has been evident throughout the last several months as they have consistently lived up to their commitment to collaborative planning and careful consideration of the data." One teachers union says it may hold safety strikes in Indiana if schools aren't safe from the coronavirus. The teachers union is demanding all public schools have basic safeguards in place before bringing teachers and students back into buildings. High school football players at New Palestine and Warren have tested positive. A student at Avon and Greenfield Central, along with staff members in Elwood, have also tested positive for the virus. Gleneva Dunham, the president of the American Federation of Teachers in Indiana, said she is willing to call a solidarity strike if schools reopen without adequate safety measures. The union points to the students that have back to school this week and have been infected with the virus. Dunham says that many schools have not prepared classrooms to meet CDC guidelines for social distancing or provided PPEs for all students and staff. The union also is not in favor of hybrid schedules that have students and teachers in class a few days a week and in virtual classrooms the remainder of the time. They're asking school corporations across the state to meet CDC sanitation guidelines that do not require teachers to do the cleaning and to provide PPEs for the entire school year. The union says they do not at this time have any strikes planned, but if the infection rates continue to climb and school districts do not provide adequate safety, that could change. The Indiana Health Department announced 836 additional Hoosiers have been diagnosed with COVID-19, bringing the case total to 69,255. 14 more Hoosiers have died, raising the death toll to 2,794. And some devastating international news we're following. An explosion in Beirut, Lebanon has killed 50 people and left 2,700 others wounded. The death toll is rising by the minute. The blast flattened much of the city's port and sent a giant mushroom cloud into the sky. Now Army helicopters are battling fires and ambulances are evacuating victims. Video shows smaller explosions like firecrackers at first, then a much larger explosion. It's not clear what caused it yet, but Lebanese leaders think it could be highly explosive material confiscated from a ship recently, then stored at the port. Tropical storm Isaias is spawning tornadoes and dumping rain as it marches up the East Coast. At least 20 tornadoes have been reported between North Carolina and New Jersey. One flattened a mobile home park, killing 2 people. More than 100 million people are under a tropical storm warning. And Isaias is still expected to bring strong wind gusts of more than 60 miles per hour in major metro areas like New York City. National social justice standards could become a part of the classroom curriculum across the state. The Indiana Department of Education is making that recommendation. Indiana is a local controlled state, so teaching these suggested standards will be decided at the district level. Department of Education representatives say, considering today's climate, it's important to provide kids a well-rounded look at the world. The recommendations focused on 20 standards around identity, justice, diversity, and action. The 20 standards, officials say, are based on skills of action and student self-awareness. So students will see topics about culture, citizenship, and advocacy. Schools will still have to follow the Indiana academic standards. The state is taking the national social justice standards created by Teaching Tolerance and molding that to meet current state standards. Department of Education representatives say educators have been asking how to incorporate topics about social change into their classrooms, yet may have to have some challenges figuring out how to do that. These recommendations will help some kickstart those lessons. Department of Education representatives say they have received questions from schools, so it's not clear just yet which will start to incorporate these standards into lessons. For parents wanting to take a closer look at the Teaching Tolerance lesson, you can find more inside this story at wishtv.com. The man running against Eric Holcomb says he is on board with including culturally sensitive material in Indiana curriculum. It's part of Dr. Woody Meyer's K-12 education revamp plan. He released it today. The plan includes increased funding for more school nurses, social workers, and counselors. He also wants to improve access to technology and broadband for families. Meyer's plan also focuses on implementing implicit bias training for teachers so they're better prepared for culturally diverse classrooms. Myers had previously criticized Governor Holcomb's approach to reopening schools, saying there's been a lack of guidance. Disinfectant wipes may be in short supply well into next year. According to Clorox, even its aggressive approach to production won't be enough to keep up with demand. The company's incoming CEO says the arrival of flu season will make production difficult, and it could take a year to reach the necessary supply level. Clorox dominates the disinfectant wipes market with a 45% market share. Demand did boost the company's overall sales by 22%. We've learned a little bit more about the local FBI raids that I first told you about yesterday. Police are looking for two men connected to recent FBI raids in Indianapolis now. Halton Butler and Gary Hatch are wanted on drug charges. Police think they may be on or near the east side. Police say you should use caution if you come across either man due to the seriousness of the crimes. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Indianapolis leaders are celebrating the completion of a $500 million innovation hub. 16 Tech and Browning Davis transformed the old Indianapolis water headquarters into a 120,000 square foot development. It has a lab, office, retail, and residential space, plus some green space and trails. The building will be the headquarters for the Indiana Biosciences Research Institute. It will also house an IU School of Medicine program. The building would be called Innovation Building 1. 16 Tech is also planning to build another 140,000 square foot hub and a residential building in the area. Apple is now the world's most valuable public company. It rose above Saudi Aramco, boosted by a 10% jump in stocks on Friday, and shares rose another 2.5% yesterday. Apple is seeing increased revenue despite the pandemic. It made nearly $60 billion from April to June, 11% more than the same time period last year. TJ Warren is on fire. He led the Pacers again last night with 34 points in their win over the Wizards. Warren also recorded his first double-double as a Pacer. Malcolm Brogdon got back on the court after missing Saturday's game. He had a strong showing, too, scoring 20 points. Oladipo should return to the starting lineup tonight against the Magic. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
Check out more podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.
allindianapodcastnetwork.com.